5.
Mm.
Now, LA Public Schools, LA Unified, again, this is the poster child of everything that's gone wrong in the school district. And as you know, I am a graduate of LA Public Schools, and I'm actually literate, which in many cases is not the case for a whole bunch of reasons. Not necessarily the board of supervisor. It's just the entire demographic has changed completely. A lot of English is second language, huge number of kids who come into the system not speaking English,
Wow.
parents not speaking English. It's just a different way of dealing. So LA Unified has really gone downhill. So now that school has started, we got a situation where so many kids who parents will not let them or unable to let kids go back, and they have to go into remote learning. But you know what happened with remote learning? They basically disbanded it. So they're moving those kids into existing independent study programs. In LA Unified, it's called the City of Angels, and it is adapted to serve parents unable or unwilling to return their kids to in-person classes. And here is the problem. It is a jerry-rigged program that the school district had no idea how many students were going to apply for this independent study program. Now let me tell you what independent study is about. It was usually limited to a very small number of students, child actors, for example, where by law they still have to have classes, so teachers show up, and of course the classes are just stupid, but at least the law, the mandated law, exists and is fulfilled. 15,000 LA Unified students have enrolled in this independent study program, which the district is totally unable to deal with. And I'll tell you why, because it's overwhelmed. And thousands of parents have enrolled their kids, but you've got the process. Some parents unable to get responses from home calls and emails, from phone calls and emails. Children have missed days of instruction, and in the most extreme cases can't even go to school for weeks. And now we're back to a much smaller number of kids, 15,000 out of 450,000. So we're talking about a smaller number of kids as opposed to all of the kids who were doing in-home learning. Teachers also have problems. One teacher has received instructions that shift every day. No guidance from administrators by phone or email, and her curricular material arrived weeks late. And incidentally, LA is not the only school district, but I always use it because I am an alum, a proud alum of LA Unified. And so the expectation was that the vast majority of students would return in person, and they have. But the number who have not, and this program had to be adapted, is much greater than what was anticipated. And so the state official decided, let's do this. Since we have to figure out some way to do it, let's expand our independent study program, which includes daily online interaction with the teacher, and that would suffice. But the live online instruction, both in quantity and in scope and how they do it, nothing compared to last year, where the entire academic program was online. So we don't even know how many families face what kind of difficulties, because it's all anecdotal. Here's one problem. The teachers have been temporary. The district acknowledged on Friday about 37% of positions have been fulfilled by substitute teachers. What kind of education do you get with a substitute teacher? It's non-existent. Remember when we were at school and a substitute teacher showed up? It was a vacation day. That was it. And some teachers tried to follow the syllabus, but that was predicated on what the full-time teacher provided, and others just babysat. And I remember one substitute teacher who was he was joking the entire day. It was in grade school, and I still remember. And he was hilarious. And it was literally, he did stand-up for a full day. That's my idea of a substitute teacher. And the worst of it are kids with special needs. Those kids, they don't even know how to begin dealing with them because independent study with kids who are special needs, disabilities, that's a real tough one to deal with. So another sidebar story of the Delta variant, and especially with families deciding to keep their children at home. Some have no choice, but I'm willing to bet of those 15,000, a majority are, my kid isn't going to wear a mask. My kid, my choice. Matter of fact, there are programs out there, and I've invested in one of them to suck the polio vaccine out of the kids and the mump shots that they got prior to going to school. My kids, my choice. Now, here's another story about COVID and some medication that both doesn't work and people are flocking to it, and how you have to take a picture of you on a horse. Huh? Well, yeah. That's coming up. In the meantime, let's check in with Jennifer Jones, please.
The new deadline to raise the nation's debt ceiling is October 18th, according to a letter that was sent from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to House Speaker Pelosi. Yellen says that date is when her department will run out of extraordinary measures to keep the nation from defaulting. The Powerball jackpot just keeps getting bigger. No one won the grand prize in last night's drawing, so that means Wednesday's jackpot will be worth $570 million. And the South Korean boy band BTS will headline 4 shows at SoFi Stadium in November and December. The K-pop group was supposed to play the Rose Bowl last year, but the pandemic canceled those shows. We're looking at your drive on the 10 with Kfi in the sky next.
Life is full of surprises, and one of the worst surprises you can experience in life is when you get into an accident and you're injured. That's where my friends at Sweet James Accident Attorneys come in. You see, personal injury is the only thing Sweet James does. They've helped thousands of listeners just like you get the medical treatment they really need and recover millions of dollars every month. There's no justice in accepting a low offer from the insurance company after your injury has changed your life. You're going to need help navigating the legal system to make sure you get medical care, vehicle repaired, and the most amount of money possible. And you won't pay a dime until they win your case. If you've been injured in an accident, call Sweet James for a free consultation. 800-500-5200, 800-500-5200, or sweetjames.com.
Breathe. We can't control what tomorrow will bring, but we can control how we start today. And feel the power of saying, re-entry or not, here I come. Arm & Hammer, more power to you.
SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a mostly sunny day ahead with temperatures upper 60s at the beaches to the low 80s inland. This report is brought to you by Arm & Hammer. Let's look at that ride on the 10.
Yeah, a little easy breathing required here. West Covina is always a busy drive, and all the construction and all that going on. Someday it'll be just wonderful, but right now, West End at Baldwin Park, there was a problem. It wasn't lanes, went over to the right shoulder. Baldwin Park is still a little bit west of the 605, by the way. So a little slow, coming in off Kellogg Hill all the way over to the 605. You'll be okay. Now, west of the 605, you'll be okay. A little slow at Rosemead. Now, this North 405, my goodness, from Long Beach up to Torrance, it's really been plagued. Have a long plaguing problem at Crenshaw. There was another one at Alameda. I think the bottom line now, from 710 through Crenshaw, that's going to be the slowest area. In Orange County, the northbound drive now coming your way through the 91, that's slow through the construction area. Now a new problem ahead of you, though, a little bit north of the 605, supposed to be a truck, maybe a brake fire. That happens a lot, unfortunately. From the 605 up to the East LA interchange and through the interchange, boy, it's just real morning drive slow. KFI in the sky helps you get there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
This report is sponsored by Ensure Max Protein. Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
This is my business. I started it, and my hard work made it successful. We survived the last year, and things are starting to look better, but now hard work alone isn't enough. I need cash to hire some people and buy supplies.
Loan Me Business is for people like you. We can loan your business from $6,000 up to $250,000. And we understand that you don't need the cash soon. You need it now. And if your credit isn't perfect, that's okay. Apply today and you can have the money in your account tomorrow. Loan Me Business loans have longer terms, keeping your monthly payments low and manageable. You can even pay the loan off early to control your costs with no prepayment penalties. That sounds great. Simply go to loanmebiz.com to get started. That's loanmebiz.com or call 844-3-LOAN-ME.
Not all applicants will qualify. Approval and terms subject to credit standards. See loanme.com for details. Loans made pursuant to California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation Law License 603K061.
That's 844-3-LOAN-ME or loanmebiz.com.
At Ralph's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store, and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Now it's even easier to save on your favorites with delivery and free pickups. Just visit Ralphs.com or the app today. Restrictions apply. Ralphs, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. What comes to mind when you think of home? Hopefully it's a safe place that protects and takes care of you. And the same should be true about the water in your home. With a Light Source whole house water system, every faucet in your house becomes a convenient and safe place to enjoy filtered, delicious water. Light Source is maintenance-free. You can say goodbye to salt bags, filter changes, monthly exchange tanks. If you're tired of dealing with hard water problems, Light Source can reduce them. Light Source gets rid of the odor and taste of chlorine without using salt or chemical. And without the drying effect of chlorine, you'll notice softer skin and hair with every bath and shower. With Light Source water, you buy a customized solution direct from the factory with installation and support. The factory has served Southern California for over 37 years, and everything is U.S. made. Call Light Source today for full service and full confidence in your water. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009, or visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source Water. Taste and feel the difference.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-1509. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-1509. That's 800-555-1509. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509.
I was out there last night, and it turns out I was in Orange County, but I hadn't been there in a while. And I walked in just because the tree flex, I put the mask on, and I really had to look around the mask on. I said, that's right. Hey, who's the dope who just put a mask on? Yeah, I know. I feel like if we have the plague here.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
Must be one of those liberals on KFI. Good morning, Bill Handel. Tuesday, September 28th. R. Kelly found guilty of bribery, sexual exploitation of a child, racketeering. All counts. Boy, he could have spent decades in prison. He's already been there for a couple of years. And then vote by mail. It is now permanent in California. The governor just signed a bill. Universal vote by mail. This is a fun story I want to share with you. And it harkens back to fairly early in the COVID pandemic when the president, and he was giving daily briefings, if you remember, with his COVID task force, Dr. Briggs and Anthony Fauci and others,
And remember when he said, since we know that bleach destroys the COVID virus, he suggested injecting bleach into your system, your blood system, to kill the virus, which probably would work, by the way. Just haven't talked to doctors. My guess is shooting up half a bottle of bleach would probably do it. Well, that was basically the start of the misinformation that was flying around the internet. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the drug ivermectin or ivermectin. It is a veterinary drug which kills parasites in dogs and chickens and other animals. And veterinarians can't get hold of it. There's a run on it. They're out of it. Now, there's some good news. There are alternatives, which are more expensive, much more, but at least that part of it is good news. And for more than a year, misinformation about ivermectin being effective at treating or preventing the virus has gone across social media, podcasts, talk radio. The FDA has said it is not approved to cure COVID, but it doesn't matter, because whatever the FDA says, we have to go the other way. And then you have podcasters like Joe Rogan and other super conservatives have promoted ivermectin for that very purpose, because the vaccine you don't want to use to protect you, because that's the worst thing possible. So let's go into bleach, let's go into ivermectin. And it is pretty crazy. Now, certain versions are used for humans to treat headlights, for example, but they certainly don't ingest it. And it's gotten so bad that one of the supply companies, and you can get ivermectin at, for example, animal stores, the ones that sell feed and hay, etc. And in one case, the owner says, we're not selling unless you can prove you have a horse, which means we want a picture of you on your horse, which instantly a cottage industry is formed, which I invested, and that's renting a horse for the purposes of you proving you have a horse. Then I get a school photographer, and we take pictures, and everybody is smiling, including the horse. And so the problem is that you've got farm owners, ranchers, veterinarians who can't get it, who can't get a legitimate medicine for their animals. And as I said, at least there are alternatives that do much the same thing. They're just a lot more expensive. And so you have doctors can actually prescribe this stuff because it's off-brand. Doctors can prescribe virtually anything, even if the FDA doesn't approve it. It's called off-brand, where the doctor is allowed to do this. So last month, prescriptions for human formulations of ivermectin, because you have these cottage manufacturers of drugs, jumped from 3,600, which was a year ago, to 88,000 a week. And this is another crazy story. Misinformation about ivermectin as a cure started just weeks after the pandemic started. A week after it hit social media, the FDA issued a warning against using animal formulations for COVID. Didn't matter. As a matter of fact, when the FDA issues a warning, don't do it, the internet explodes with the FDA as part of the deep state and as part of the conspiratorial aspect of the government that wants to control your life. And since they don't control the ivermectin, that's where you want to go. The government can't control that, and that's far more effective. There are testimonials. There's one group, 4,200 members, Facebook group, and it's called Ivermectin COVID-19 Testimonials. It gives you advice, what side effects to expect from the drug, how to calculate dosages of paste meant for horses, and they have an entire formula, and then tell you how to take it. Put it on a cracker with a little dab of peanut butter on the same cracker and have a good time. And what has happened is those vets and those stores who are savvy to the internet found out as this thing started spreading, let's hoard the stuff. Because that's the only way they can get hold of it. And so for those of you that have a real problem with the vaccine, here is our secret. How to cure or even preclude preclude the vaccine. And the ivermectin is a double hit. Not only will it prevent COVID, but in the event you get COVID, it will cure COVID. Ivermectin. Write that one down, okay? California has a legal right to abortion. But I want to give you a reality check. Because even as Texas is going crazy, or has gone crazy, and other states are doing the same thing in terms of restricting abortion rights, California has gone the total different way, but in reality hasn't really. And we'll jump into that when I come back. In the meantime, there's Jennifer Jones.
A woman's been shot by a school safety officer near a high school in Long Beach. Cops say the officer responded to a fight involving several people. When they tried to leave in a car, he shot at them. Happened about 3 yesterday afternoon around Milliken High School. It was caught on cell phone camera.
They're in the car blocking me. Yes, it's gone.
The school says no students were hurt in the shooting. The woman who was shot was taken to the hospital in critical condition. News is brought to you by 1-800-NO-COST. A wind advisory will be in effect for LA County in the mountains from 10 this morning through 9 tonight. The National Weather Service says high winds are forecast, including possible isolated gusts up to 50 miles an hour in some ranges like the 5 and the 14. A new study says eating vegan or vegetarian has become easier, especially in LA.
Personal finance website Wallet Hub compared the 100 largest cities in the U.S. to find out the best and cheapest places for a plant-based diet. LA comes in at number 3. Portland, Oregon is number 1. About 15.2 million adults in the U.S. don't eat meat, but finding meatless options at restaurants and supermarkets has been challenging in the past and expensive. Things are getting better for vegans and vegetarians. More places have started to offer plant-based meals. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
The Biden administration is taking action to protect the 600,000 participants of the DACA program. The Department of Homeland Security says it will move Dreamers to the back of the deportation line in an effort to protect their status in the U.S. A federal judge in Texas ruled the program was illegal in July. The Department of Justice has appealed the ruling. A financial technology company says proposed changes to laws governing independent retirement accounts will have a negative impact on millions of middle-income Americans if enacted. The changes are part of the $3.5 trillion reconciliation package that's gone to the House. General Counsel with Alto, Gary Hirsch, said it would decimate millions of IRAs.
The bill right now, winding its way through Congress, would take away the freedom of investors to use their IRAs to invest in the same things that have made the wealthiest investors rich.
Hirsch says average American investors would have to figure out how to pay taxes on assets or sell assets in a fire sale at a steep discount. And a new satellite has been launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base. It's going to help gather high-resolution photos of Earth. The Landsat satellite shot into space yesterday and will orbit along with its sister satellite, Landsat 8. Let's take a look at your drive now on the 605.
It'd be nice if we could use that to look at the freeways. Southbound Drive now. It's for this time of the morning. It's really not too bad. I'll explain. South 605 coming off the 210, the 10 to 60, all the way down the I-5. It's okay. There's one thing to watch for if you're leaving the Irwindale area right now. South 605, the Ramona off-ramp. Before you get to the 10, a little bit of activity on that off-ramp. But other than that, by morning drive standards, it's pretty good. Not so good leaving Diamond Bar, west on 60 or Fairway. It's been a crash there. Everybody's headed over there. We've got a couple lane spots, some things out from Diamond Bar. If you choose the South 57, it's okay by morning drive standards. It's slow, definitely, but okay all the way down to the 91. North 405, if you just joined us, boy, Long Beach up to LAX, it's really a drag. There's a couple of bad crashes. One at Alameda, one at Crenshaw. It's just slow most of the way up towards El Segundo. North of the airport, it's morning drive slow up to the 10. Oh, something just came in here. San Fernando Valley, South 178 Magnolia. Be careful if you're headed there. I'll follow up on that for you. KFI in the Sky helps you get there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
Now, when interest rates were, 6%, 8%, even higher, it made all the sense in the world to pay off your home mortgage because money was just too expensive. Well, the bottom line, when interest rates are this low, your home equity is just sitting there doing nothing. And in the meantime, you can invest your equity money and make 5, 6, 7%, and while your money is actually almost free. So let me tell you what it makes a great deal of sense, and that is to borrow money, cash in on that home equity. You borrow so low, and then you invest and get much higher returns. So let me also suggest calling HMS Capital. HMS Capital is a mortgage company. I've known Mark Height of HMS Capital for 16 years, and I've done 2 mortgages with Mark, so you know I can recommend him. With their razor-sharp interest rates, they're confident they'll earn your business, and HMS Capital tells you go to another lender at the same time. I mean, apply to 2 different companies. That's how confident he is that he's going to get your business. No appraisal or application fee. Call 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Mortgage and Finance, and HMS Capital advisors by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today with highs mid-60s at the coast. Low to mid-70s for Metro LA and OC. Upper 70s for the valleys in the IE, but inland highs should be back in the low 90s by the end of the week. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
When Joe and I needed new windows over 20 years ago, we picked a company we thought would do a good job. We were so disappointed.
So we saw a genuine need for a company with strong character, one that people could have faith in.
American Vision Windows was born right then and there.
What sets American Vision Windows apart is easily the culture. Their greatest investment is in their employees, and it shows.
It was a great experience. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
I've been in the construction trade for 35 years. The level of quality of products that they use for their prep work was top-notch.
American Vision Windows continues to revolutionize the home improvement industry one customer at a time while changing the lives of our employees for the better. It's so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
For a limited time, American Vision Windows will pay the tax. Plus, you won't need to make payments for 6 whole months. Call 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
On approved credit, not all applicants will qualify. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Offer ends 10/31/2021. CSLB number 778326.
Accident, legally, call Jacob in the morning. Call Jacob.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640 handle here on a Tuesday morning, September 28th. One of the big stories that is trending is the families affected by the 2015 Aliso Canyon gas leak. Families have reached a settlement with SoCal Gas, $1.8 billion. So that one's being put together. After Governor Greg Abbott of Texas signed that insanely restrictive abortion law, anti-abortion law, making it virtually impossible to get an abortion in Texas, everybody's attention immediately turned to California. Why? Because California will always allow abortion. It's actually in the Constitution. So you're not going to see the governor anytime changing anything at all. And as a matter of fact, currently our governor is, in fact, pro-abortion rights, and even the moderate governors, the Republican governors that we had, always took even against it, took a very moderate stance. So California is the place to go. California, here we come. Well, there's a problem. And that is, while women do have legal rights to abortion, getting one is not so easy. Why is that? Well, first of all, 40% of counties have no clinic at all that provides abortion. 40% of the counties. Now, it's only a tiny little share of women who live in those counties, 3%. That's still hundreds of thousands of people. There are huge swaths of the state with no abortion providers for miles and miles and miles. And for Californians who rely on Medi-Cal, that gets even more difficult because a provider, when someone is broke, goes to Medi-Cal to get the money, and it's so limited that a lot of abortion providers simply don't accept Medi-Cal money. And so what is the big reason? Well, there's one overriding reason why it's so difficult in California to get an abortion. And it's money. That's it. It's simply the cost is so great to poor women, particularly minority women, that an abortion simply isn't readily available. Why? Because you have to travel, in many cases hundreds of miles, you got babysitting, you have to stay there for a couple of days, you have to leave work, and generally you don't tell your boss, hi, I'm taking off a couple of days for an abortion. So it gets really problematic that the cost is so high for so many people, and then you have places like Planned Parenthood, and we haven't heard much about abortion clinics with that organization. Now, California requires federal abortion, but they can also come out with some co-payments, the health insurers, and again, that can be hundreds of dollars that women simply don't have the money to pay. Now, for women on Medi-Cal, there is no co-pay, but again, the providers who, in fact, accept Medi-Cal are few and far between. And then the other issue, even though it's totally legal in California, and no one can stop abortion, in reality, plenty of people stop abortion clinics from operating. And there are instant full risk of previous abortion providers we simply can't stay in this system because of the death threats, because of the vandalism. It's just overwhelming in terms of the stress that it causes with the staff. Management, we simply can't do it. So, is there an option? Well, there seems to be. And that is two things. There is a Senate bill, which is in the works, seeks to prohibit health insurers from imposing deductibles or co-pays. That's one. And the other one is telehealth. There are now websites that women can go to.
Looks like it's arguing.
And that website actually has done a lot of research. And what it does is tell women, even though it doesn't provide a self-abortion services, what it does is give a research. And here is the closest clinic to where you can get an abortion. Here you get a free abortion because you have people with abortion who donate money and back up the right women to have abortion services. So there are a couple of ways that we can do an underwent, and we can do an underwent.